Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony is about to begin. We kindly ask that you silence all electronic devices. In the event of an emergency, please follow the signs and exit the large doors at the end and side of the building. Thank you. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the left of the stage as we welcome our platform guests. Welcome first, electric boat welder Robert Ray Jr. Matron of Honor, Sarah Millar. Electric Boat Detail Planner, Dalton Lackalade. Electric Boat Senior Manufacturing Representative, Anthony Miele. Electric Boat Vice President of Quonset Point, Mr. Charles Montalbano. Supervisor of Shipbuilding Groton, Captain Brian Heberly. Captain of the Wisconsin, Mark Robinson. Program Executive Officer for Strategic Submarines, Rear Admiral Todd Weeks. Director, Naval Nuclear Propulsion Program, Admiral William Houston. Representing the Governor of Wisconsin, Grace Stanke. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President of Electric Boat, Mr. Mark Rea, escorting the sponsor of PCU Wisconsin, Dr. Kelly Gertz. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please stand for the national anthem performed by Electric Boat Quonset Point Detail Planner, Dalton Lackalade. And please remain standing for the Invocation by Anthony Miele.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Dear Lord, we come before you with open hearts and humble spirits. We seek your guidance and blessing in this moment, sacred in the history of maritime tradition. We gather here today to offer our heartfelt prayer, a blessing for the 827 Wisconsin. During our time of prayer, we thank the Electric Boat team for your outstanding hard work. Your dedication, teamwork, and perseverance have truly paid off. Each of you have shown incredible commitment and contributed your unique skills to achieve remarkable results. You should be proud of your accomplishments, and I wish you continued success in all your future endeavors. May the Lord's grace, comfort, and solace be upon the families of the ship's crew. Grant them reassurance and peace of mind. Embrace them with your loving presence, alleviating any anxieties or fears that may arise in their hearts. Surround them with a sense of security, knowing that their loved ones are guided under your watchful eye. May the blessings of protection be upon the courageous crew of this ship. As they traverse the boundless seas, we pray for their safety and well-being. Envelop them in your loving embrace, providing comfort and solace amidst the vast expanse of the oceans. Be their guiding light in times of darkness, illuminating their path with hope and assurance. Bestow upon them the strength and endurance to overcome any obstacles they may encounter, emerging triumphant. In the name of the Lord, we conclude this prayer with hearts filled with gratitude and reverence. We give thanks for the gift of life, for the breath that sustains us, and the opportunities that lie before us. We thank you for your unwavering love, boundless mercy, and constant presence in our lives. Thank you, our Lord.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the president of Electric Boat, Mr. Mark Rea.
Good morning, Rhode Island. Seriously, good morning, assembled guests. I think before I start, I want to do something I think that's important. So right now here at Quonset Point and also in Groton, Newport News, and all over this country, shipbuilders are building freedom. Some of them are here today. I see them out there. I see you. Let's give them all a round of applause before we start. So again, welcome on behalf of the 24,000 plus shipbuilders of General Dynamics Electric Boat. Welcome to Quonset Point. Electric Boat is celebrating 126 years of shipbuilding this year and getting better at it every day. Right now, we're doing something that has never been done, building 2 classes of submarines simultaneously in modular construction. It sounds easy, it's not. And the shipbuilders here at Electric Boat, Newport News, and around the country are doing something that we should all be proud of and appreciate. We hold a keel laying ceremony for every submarine we build to celebrate the ceremonial start of this construction. Back in 1957, in the Groton shipyard, the USS George Washington had its keel laid a long time ago, many ships ago, but an important date, just like today. So for more than 65 years, our nation has relied on the availability of submarine-launched strategic weapons. If needed, because of the decades of design and build experience by Electric Boat and the operational experience of the United States Navy. In 1976, we laid the keel for the Ohio, the first of the Ohio class, and in 2022, we laid the keel for the District of Columbia, the first of the Columbia class. Today, we lay the keel for the second Columbia class ship, the Wisconsin. At 560 feet long, with a displacement of 21,000 tons, the Wisconsin and the other 11 ships of the class will be the largest ever built by the United States. The Columbia class features superior acoustic performance and state-of-the-art sensors that make it the most quiet and capable submarine ever built. To bring Wisconsin to the fleet, we've hired thousands of shipbuilders. We talked about them earlier, but every day they learn how to apply their trade, they keep each other safe, and they provide the quality that we've come to expect for a United States submarine. So together we're providing careers, opportunities for advancement, and economic stability for decades to come, especially here in New England. We often talk about Groton and New London being the submarine capital of the world. New England is the submarine capital of the world. So we've gone through a period of transformation and growth. General Dynamics has invested over $2 billion in facilities, with more to come. It includes a 200,000 square foot facility in the South Yard in Groton, where we'll assemble the Columbia class. Just yesterday, Super Module 3, the missile compartment module for the first Columbia class, the District of Columbia, arrived in Groton, marking more than half of the weight of the submarine being in Groton. It's a big occasion. Congratulations. So the unmatched stealth and capabilities these ships provide ensures Americans and our allies can sleep at night knowing their freedom is defended. And for the submariners who serve on her and their families, they will rest easy knowing how well this ship was built and how capably she will perform. So Electric Boat has a unique history with the state of Wisconsin. During World War II, along with managing its own shipyards, EB also supervised the construction of 28 submarines in Wisconsin's Manitowoc shipyard, or shipbuilding company, located on Lake Michigan. I learned yesterday that I grew up in Michigan. We're on the sandy side of Lake Michigan. Wisconsin's on the rocky side of Lake Michigan. But unlike the launchings in Groton, where we used to slide them, and now where we launch them on a pontoon and on a barge, they slid these boats sideways into the water. We don't do that anymore. I'm not sure we even want to try it anymore. But it went from there, it flowed its way through Chicago to the Mississippi River, where it made its way out, and then made its way to Groton for final assembly and test. You think about that path that it took to get it there. Pretty remarkable. Just further proof what we do as a nation when we set out to do something. So while SSBN 827, the Wisconsin, will not be launched into the Thames River sideways or even slid in at all, once she reaches the pressure hull complete milestone and we move through the stages of construction to get it to be ready for float off, she'll move from the South Yard Assembly Building onto a brand new floating dry dock, the Atlas, pushed out into the river and sank, and then move off to a pier for the final assembly and test activities. So now I'd like to welcome Electric Boat's 40-year shipbuilders in attendance. Where are they? Like me to raise a hand? There we go. I'd also like to welcome Ms. Maddie McTurnan, the Chief of Defense Nuclear at the UK Ministry of Defense. I think, as most of you know, the United States and United Kingdom have partnered for over 60 years in a shared commitment to maintaining strategic deterrence, peace, and stability in our world. It's a pleasure to have you here with us today. And now I'd like to share a video from Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may have a seat.
Good morning. Thank you, Dr. Gertz, Electric Boat, Naval Reactors, the Columbia Class Program Office, and the United States Navy for inviting me to share this message today. Dr. Gertz, I know Wisconsin will benefit from your spirit and leadership throughout her service life. And to Admiral Houston, Rear Admiral Weeks, Mark Rea, and all the distinguished guests, thank you for your vision and hard work in bringing this next generation submarine to life. As many of you know, Wisconsin has a proud shipbuilding and naval legacy. In World War II, more than 7,000 Wisconsinites worked tirelessly to build 28 submarines. Today, more than 300 Wisconsin companies continue our shipbuilding tradition through the design, development, and construction of Columbia-class submarines. And I want to extend my sincere thanks to the folks at Electric Boat, Huntington Ingalls, and their partners for their critical work. More than 65 ships have honored Wisconsin and our communities, and we are incredibly proud to now add our first submarine. It's a tremendous honor to have a submarine named for the great state of Wisconsin. For more than 40 years, this submarine, proudly bearing our state's name, will serve our country silently patrolling the depths in defense of our freedoms and values we hold dear, and serving as an enduring symbol of our strength, vigilance, and commitment. Our state motto of Forward reflects a spirit of innovation and readiness. I have no doubt that the same spirit will be carried forward by this extraordinary submarine and her crew, the elite men and women of the Silent Service. From the USS Wisconsin Day postmark in Manitowoc and watch parties at veterans' homes, museums, and airports across the state, to flying flags today over the Wisconsin State Capitol in honor of Wisconsin and her future crews, Wisconsin is celebrating alongside all of you today. And once again, as we have done for the past 5, this year on August 27th, in honor of Wisconsin's Hull Number Day, we will once again be celebrating USS Wisconsin Day statewide. Now, since I cannot be there with you in person today, I would like to introduce Grace Stanke, Miss Wisconsin 2022, Miss America 2023, and UW-Madison Nuclear Engineering graduate, to share with all of you our 2025 USS Wisconsin Day Proclamation. With that, on behalf of all Wisconsinites, thank you to our shipbuilders, our Navy, and our submarine force. Thank you for your commitment to service and to your sacrifice on behalf of our nation. Forward for freedom and forward for Wisconsin always. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Grace Stanke.
Thank you. It is an honor to be here today, and as a Wisconsin alumni and a Wisconsin native, and somebody who still works in the nuclear industry, it's an incredible honor to continue acts of patriotism in my involvement with the USS Wisconsin Association. So with that, let's move on to the USS Wisconsin SSBN 827 Keel Laying Day Proclamation. Whereas, on this day, August 27th, 2025, we pause to honor the keel laying of USS Wisconsin SSBN 827, a Columbia-class ballistic missile submarine, the third to bear our state's proud name. And though the ceremony unfolds in the historic shipyards of Groton, Connecticut, and Quinset Point, Rhode Island, it is Wisconsin's spirit, legacy, and craftsmanship that are woven into the very fabric of this vessel. And whereas, as the ship begins its transition from design to reality in Quinset Point, it is Wisconsin that breathes life into her. For from our state come critical components, the structural backbone, precision machined parts, and advanced electronic systems that will guide her through the silent deep, a testament to the integrity and grit of our people. And whereas, we honor Dr. Kelly Gertz, a daughter of Wisconsin, and sponsor of this mighty vessel, who, in a timeless naval tradition, welds her initials onto a plate to be affixed to the submarine during the ceremony in Quinset Point. Her mark, a whisper of home, carried to the farthest reaches of the sea. And with solemn pride, she proclaims the keel to be truly and fairly laid, binding our state's soul to the boat's enduring journey. And whereas this keel laying is more than a ceremony, It is a covenant forged in the fires of Wisconsin's workshop and carried upon the tides. A promise that USS Wisconsin SSBN 827 will bear our name, our strength, and our spirit into the abyss, her silent watch a source of pride that stirs our hearts to tears even from afar. And whereas, though we stand on Wisconsin soil, our thoughts and pride cross the miles to Quinset Point, knowing that while we do not shape her steel, we have given her our name, our legacy, and our trust, and she will carry them until the day she is decommissioned, a guardian of freedom etched with the mark of our state. Now, therefore, I, Tony Evers, Governor of the State of Wisconsin, do hereby proclaim August 27th, 2025 as USS Wisconsin SSBN 827 Keel Laying Day throughout the state of Wisconsin, and I call upon all citizens to join in a minute of recognition at 8:27 a.m., 0827 in the mariner's tongue, honoring the keel that ties our heritage to the sea, and I commend this observance to every soul in our state, that we may cheer with joy and weep with pride for the submarine that bears Wisconsin's name into the deep and beyond. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and caused the great seal of the state of Wisconsin to be affixed this 27th day of August in the year 2025. Thank you.
And now I'd like to welcome our next speaker. He's the 8th Director of the Naval Nuclear Propulsion Program, Admiral William Houston.
Thank you, Mark, Secretary Gertz, Ms. McTiernan, flag officers, Wisconsinites, shipbuilders, and most importantly, Dr. Kelly Gertz. It's just an honor to be here in the New England, the capital of the submarine construction and the submarine force is what I would say here. What a great day, 827. I was remarking, I'm so glad that we numbered it 827, but it's like January 27 or something like that. Be a little colder, more miserable here, but what a great, what an absolutely great day. If you take a look at the history of Wisconsin and the first battleship, the USS Wisconsin BB-9, it joined Theodore Roosevelt's Great White Fleet. And that fleet circled the globe as a message of strength, a signal that America was powerful, capable of protecting its interest, and standing shoulder to shoulder with the great nations of the world. It was, in every sense, an act of deterrence. Today, we gather to honor a different Wisconsin, but their mission remains the same, deterrence. Where the battleship's white-plated hull once sent a message to friends and foe alike, this submarine will carry that same message silently, invisibly beneath the seas. Our ballistic missile submarines are the most survivable leg of our nuclear triad. They are the ultimate guarantor that no adversary will ever miscalculate America's resolve. This keel is the backbone of the ship, the first piece from which all others will grow. From this keel, the Wisconsin will rise, an intricate structure of power, precision, and purpose. And just as a keel bears the weight of the ship, this vessel bears the weight of our nation's most solemn responsibility to deter war and preserve peace through strength. The submarine will carry more explosive firepower than was delivered in all of World War II. And it can deliver this firepower anywhere in the world in less than 1 hour. That is the power that this warship, which is the ultimate weapon of destruction, but the ultimate guarantor of peace, demonstrates. The work ahead is not easy, but this team will rise to the challenge. Just as Admiral Rickover reminded us from more than 40 years ago at the commissioning of the USS Ohio, the burdens of a strong defense are heavy, but those who wish the blessings of liberty must accept the fatigue of supporting it. To our shipbuilders, engineers, suppliers, your craftsmanship makes this possible. You have once again proven that when Americans put their minds and hands to a task, there is nothing we cannot accomplish. You are laying not just a keel, but the foundation of security for generations to come. And to the families who support this program, you are the unsung heroes behind every patrol and every deployment. Your sacrifices give meaning to the steel and purpose of this mission. So let us mark this day with pride and celebrate the future USS Wisconsin that will silently sail the oceans unseen, ensuring that our enemies never doubt and our allies will always trust. We have a tremendous amount of work ahead of us as you see Wisconsin being built out around you. And so it's time to get to work, America. It's time to go ahead and ensure peace through strength. May God bless the ship, her builders, and the United States Navy.
Thank you, Admiral. So as I introduce our guest of honor, I think it's important for us to acknowledge that to do this, which is important because it's a ceremony that marks the beginning of the build of a ship, we've also had to stop the build to do this. And you can look around and you can see the work that we've stopped. This place is not typically this quiet, I think, as you might expect. So we're holding some people up for good reason, but I think if you were in here at a different time, you would see a lot of work happening, and it's a great moment. You can see splayed around me. I won't explain them all, but you can see behind me, as Admiral Houston referred to, one of the quad packs of the 827 and the firepower that thing's going to bring. So I also want to acknowledge, I should have done this earlier, the leadership team of Electric Boat here today. You're building shipbuilders as you're building ships, and it's been fun to work with you, to watch you bring this along, and also our partners, Michelle Kruger's here and others that have been here, and of course the other dignitaries. So thank you for your attendance. So in the days of wooden ships, the start of construction was marked by the laying of the first timber, the backbone of the vessel. Much has changed since the days of wooden ships, but the time-honored tradition of keel laying and the important people we recognize as ship sponsor remains. In a modular nuclear submarine, we mark the occasion by having the sponsor's initials welded onto a ceremonial plate that will be mounted in a place of honor on the boat. It is my pleasure to introduce our guest of honor. Dr. Kelly Gertz is a retired teacher who dedicated her career to teaching students and helping other teachers fulfill their goals. She's been recognized for her positive impact on students, as a mentor for other teachers, and as a contributor to inclusion and arts integration. She's a passionate advocate for equal educational access for all students and for the inclusion of the arts in as an element of curriculum. Originally from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Dr. Gertz has served in numerous teaching roles throughout the country as a military spouse. Dr. Gertz received her undergraduate degree in art education from Millersville University, her master's degree in special education from Fitchburg State University in Massachusetts, and her doctoral degree from Walden University in teacher leadership. Dr. Gertz currently supports the family business and volunteers in the community. She is married to the Honorable James Gertz, Hondo Gertz, who's here, and they have 2 adult sons, Jimmy and Brandon. Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Kelly Gertz.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us here today for this very special occasion, the ceremonial birth of the future USS Wisconsin SSBN 827. Wisconsin is a truly beautiful state. My husband's family hails from the Green Bay area, and I've always been struck by the kindness, warmth, and generosity of her people. So I was thrilled to be asked to serve as ship sponsor of the USS Wisconsin. And it's a privilege to stand here today and take part in this significant and symbolic milestone in the life of the ship. As we heard, in 2021, Governor Tony Evers began the now annual tradition of declaring August 26th as USS Wisconsin SSBN 827 Day to shine a light on the state's rich maritime heritage and to commemorate the great honor of having the second in class of the Columbia-class submarines named after the great state of Wisconsin. Wisconsinites are following this journey with pride, eager to celebrate this milestone for their namesake submarine and ready to welcome the USS Wisconsin and her crews with open arms. I'd like to recognize the USS Wisconsin SSBN 827 Association and Commissioning Committee, who have been passionately engaged since the decision to name the ship in 2020. They encourage, advocate, and generate statewide support for the future USS Wisconsin, and they also educate the citizens of Wisconsin about their namesake submarine. One of their many creative efforts was creating a 50-foot inflatable submarine, which we christened at the state capitol in Madison, Wisconsin, on August 27th of 2022, with both waters from Lake Michigan and Lake Superior. When the Navy donated a first casting of the future USS Wisconsin to the association in turn donated the piece to the Wisconsin Veterans Museum in Madison, Wisconsin, where it is proudly displayed. I'd like to thank the committee for their advocacy, their energy, and their enthusiasm. I am proud to serve as an honorary board member of the association, and I look forward to working closely with you throughout the life of this great ship. I'd like to commend General Dynamics Electric Boat Division and Newport News Shipbuilding for your expertise and dedication in bringing the sub to life. The USS Wisconsin, as we've heard, will have a vital role in our nation's defense as a cornerstone of our strategic nuclear deterrent. I'd like to thank the welders, the riggers, the engineers, metal workers, machinists, electricians, and all of the other outstanding professionals who are part of this great shipbuilding enterprise. What you do every day matters. Your diligence and dedication ensure the safety of the 155 men and women that will one day man this great vessel. Your ingenuity and skill play an important part in our nation's defense. I'd also like to thank the entire Navy acquisition team for their hard work in overseeing the design and production of this submarine. The Columbia-class submarines are the largest and most complex that have ever been built, and successful execution of this program is critically important for the Navy and for the nation. Your stewardship of this monumental project is indispensable, and you have the gratitude of the American people. To the military members that are here today, and the many that are watching the live stream, I thank you for your service, your expertise, and your commitment. The pre-commissioning crew has a very special mission to ensure that when the USS Wisconsin joins the fleet, she is ready to join the Navy's constant forward presence all around the world. As a former military spouse, I also want to thank our military families. Your sacrifices sustain those who wear the uniform and do not go unnoticed. Your love and support enable our servicemen and women to carry out their important work of guarding the depths. We see you, we are grateful to you. Thank you for your service. On a personal note, I would like to thank our family and friends that were able to join us here today. Your love, your support, and your presence here today mean more than words can express. Sorry. I'd like to thank my sister-in-law, Sarah Millar, for joining me on this journey as my matron of honor. To the crew members here now, and to the many who will join during the ship's construction, testing, and eventual service, I'm thrilled to be beginning this journey with you. no matter the state of the world, whether we are at peace or in conflict. Our silent service is out there, quietly protecting the depths. I'm excited to begin a lifelong relationship with the future USS Wisconsin family and getting to know you and your families along the way. It's a privilege to stand here with you today. I look forward to being your shipmate for life. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gertz. Excuse me. So, and now, electric boat welder Robert Ray Jr. will join Kelly to weld her initials onto the keel plate. Bob is a 49-year Quonset Point employee who has delayed having his second knee replacement. That's not an HR violation. So he could have the honor of being the keel welder for the Wisconsin. Bob, where's Bob? There he is. Okay. You may prepare to weld. Gentlemen, start your engines. Ready to go? We'll let him put his leathers on. We're gonna... Ready? You ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, although the welding will be shielded, for your safety, please direct your attention to the video screens and do not stare directly at the welding.
On Wisconsin, grand old Badger State, we thy loyal sons and daughters, fairly good and great. On Wisconsin, champion of the rockets, crossing forward our water ground with evening's sunset.
And out to California, played in the warm sunshine. Met cowgirls down in Texas, they treated me so kind. But got lost in New York City, alone out on the street. Then all that talk of freedom didn't sound so sweet. I heard a north wind calling me, drawing me back home, Wisconsin. Through the tall pines, peaceful rivers flow. Feel the changing seasons touch your soul, Wisconsin. I remember happy summer days down on my grandma's farm. And I'll bet my Zebco fishing pole still out there in the barn. There were whitetails in the cornfields, wild turkeys along the road. With so many childhood memories, it's good to be back home. A place to find some peace of mind, back where I belong, Wisconsin. Diamonds sparkle in your winter snow, springtime's gentle breezes blow, Wisconsin. Place to find some peace of mind, back where I belong, Wisconsin. Through the tall pines, peaceful rivers flow. Feel the changing seasons touch your soul. Wisconsin, Wisconsin, Wisconsin. And out to California, late in the warm sunshine. Met cowgirls down in Texas, they treated me so kind. But got lost in New York City, alone out on the street. And all that talk of freedom didn't sound so sweet. I heard a north wind calling me, drawing me back home, Wisconsin. Through the tall pines, peaceful rivers flow. Feel the changing seasons touch your soul, Wisconsin. I remember happy summer days down on my grandma's farm. And I'll bet my Zebco fishing pole still out there in the barn. There were whitetails in the cornfields, wild turkeys along the road. With so many childhood memories, it's good to be back home. A place to find some peace of mind, back where I belong, Wisconsin. Dive and sparkle in your winter snow. Springtime's gentle breezes blow, Wisconsin. Place to find some peace of mind, back where I belong, Wisconsin. Through the tall pines, peaceful rivers flow. Feel the changing seasons touch your soul, Wisconsin. Wisconsin, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin is a dairy state, guess you all know it well. I was in Wauwatosa, the truth I will tell. It's a milk and cheese and cream, yes, I've known it all my days. And I'm going back to my hometown, I'm leaving right away. I'm headed to Wisconsin, 2,000 miles to go. Madison, Milwaukee, sets my heart aglow. I'm a-coming to that state and my heart's beating fast. And I'll jerk my banjo gently, twiddle my mustache on Wisconsin, on Wisconsin, calling me that way. Wisconsin, on Wisconsin, I think I'm going to stay. Those thoughts I left there long ago, ones are coming now, it seems. I'll tune my banjo in the hills and feast on milk and cream. And I'll stamp my foot through the grass, and I'll never know or care. Yes, my home's in Wauwatosa, and with your city ways are driving me insane to drink. My home's in Wisconsin, it's a better place, I think. I have been in California, and I've been all around, but my home's in Wisconsin, and I'm gonna own this town. On Wisconsin, on Wisconsin, calling me that way. On Wisconsin, on Wisconsin, I think I'm going to stay. Those thoughts I left there long ago, ones are coming out, it seems. I'll tune my banjo in the hills and feast
And now Dr. Gertz will authenticate her initials.
through the grass, and I'll never know or care. Yes, my home.
I declare this keel to be well and truly laid.